Hi, my name is Tori Pritchett, and I am a Living Archives intern. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Miss Perkins Allen, and I'm going to give her the opportunity to introduce herself.
Good afternoon. Like Tori said, my name is LaTausha Perkins Allen, and I serve as the Disability Service Coordinator here at Johnson C. Smith University.
All right, and if you could describe yourself for me.
5 words to describe me would be I'm empathetic. I am a pretty much even keel person. I like to think of myself as being kind, compassionate, strong-willed when need be, and caring.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. And where's home for you right now?
Home for me now is in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, and were you here during the start of the pandemic?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And how was that for you, being in the city? How was that for you?
During that time, I want to say that was March of 2021, I want to say. Or was it 2020? Oh my gosh, time has really flown.
Yes.
At the time, I was getting back into the workforce, and just due to some family illnesses, I served as a caretaker prior to the pandemic. And so once things kind of evened out at home, I was able to volunteer and become a substitute teacher for CMS schools.
Okay.
So March of 2021, I was trying to get some work stamina going again, some work ethic outside of the home. And I was subbing at a particular high school, and we went home and never went back.
Oh my goodness.
And so for me, during the pandemic, everybody came home. My husband was working from home. I ended up getting a job working remotely from home. And then I have 2 school-age kids. And at the time, they were in 7th grade and 1st grade.
Okay.
So that was very, very challenging at the time.
Yes. And how was it balancing school? How was that? Just balancing everything?
It was very, very chaotic initially. It was anxiety driven at times, trying to come up with a system that everyone can get the tasks at hand done, and creating some type of routine and schedule for everybody. So it was very, very challenging during that time. I can't believe it's been 3 years, huh?
Yes.
Going on 3 years.
You made me realize that too.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
All right. And so with you adjusting, working remotely, what did you do in your free time?
I read my Bible. I journaled during that time. The kids were home, so I had to be teacher, mom, and also try to work. And so we did a lot of outdoor activities at home in the backyard. I started gardening, and I would do grounding, and basically that's just trying to get up a little bit earlier than they did, go outside and say my prayers and just manifest having a good day, because it was very, very stressful. And then my 9-year-old, now she's 9 now, but she was, I want to say 6 at the time. We did a lot of baking and a lot of cooking.
Okay.
Yes, from scratch. And I'm not the cook in the family, so.
Now, where did you come up with the recipes or even the ideas?
From her. This generation, she doesn't have a phone or anything. She has an iPad. So she would, search up different recipes, and she would pull out her Easy Bake Oven, and then we actually she got an air fryer actually for her birthday during the pandemic.
Goodness.
So she started cooking, and of course I had to supervise her.
Yes.
And so we would just get in there and make different dishes and just try different things to keep the monotony from taking us under.
Yes, definitely. And what were some normal routines that changed for you during that time?
Like self-care, like going to the hair salon or going shopping. You did everything online. Hanging out with friends, having date night with my husband. Those things changed dramatically for us. we tried to make it work, like we would take like nighttime drives, but just being able to connect with other family members and friends face to face, we really, we felt that loss.
Yes, and how did you keep that communication flowing with your family and friends? Was there anything that you did differently to stay in contact with them?
Yes. So I'm the oldest of 4. I have a sister and 2 brothers, and my parents are still here with me. I would do daily check-ins with them, like go down my list, and extended family too. We did a lot of talking. And then as time moved on, we ended up doing the group chats, and then we would do Zoom meetings every once in a while. So we did incorporate technology moving towards the 21st century. So we did a lot of that. Did I write letters? I think I had my kids write letters, just bringing back the art of writing outside of being on the device, because everybody was on the devices from the time they got up, whether it be me or my husband doing work or them doing school via Zoom. I wanted them to have another type of outlet. So they wrote letters, and I would check in with, especially my mom and dad, they were by themselves. I would check in with them on a daily basis. So it brought us connected, closer. We still had family drama, ironically, after, getting over the, oh, are you okay? This, that, and the other. It felt we still had the family dynamics in every sense of the word during that time. So
okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it keeps the family going.
Yep, some life in the party. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Now, what do you think some long-lasting consequences of the pandemic are?
Wow. The hygiene. It's like, I see this hand sanitizer right here, and I'm just like prone to just wanting to do that and kill the good bad germs, because I saw recently that we're losing some of our immune system is weakening a little bit, because we're still washing our hands, we're still using the hand sanitizer, and so our immune systems aren't getting acclimated to fighting off germs, and so now we're getting summer colds and all this other stuff. So I would definitely say it could be a good thing, but that is something that happened. Consequences. I think it's easier for us to isolate a little bit, to be honest. Like, we're more comfortable than before. Like, I'm okay with, at times, it was our normal for so long, it doesn't feel abnormal. I have to consciously make myself aware that it's okay to go out and have fun, and it's just reacclimating to our new normal, and that it's okay to be out and be busy and hang out with friends, whereas before we were just calling and texting during the pandemic.
Yes, certainly. And how do you think the pandemic has shaped you as a person? So we're shifting gears a little bit.
I feel like I'm definitely more resilient. I feel as though, even though I'm kind of contradicting myself with what happened, having the opportunity for more self-care, not having my kids around. I'm a mother, like I said, of 2, and I'm so, I guess, indoctrinated to make sure they're okay before I take care of myself. So during the pandemic, I was participating in therapy, and now I've kind of fallen off of it. But that is something that I found to be very beneficial during that time, and it's something that I definitely want to make sure I designate to take care of myself. So the self-care part, and then having a sense of humor, learning to laugh at myself, not to take myself so seriously.
Yes.
I think we all learned from that during the pandemic, when everything was being done remotely and from home. It's okay to not always be on your A game.
Yes.
It's okay, and it's okay to be human and make mistakes, because we all had to go through a learning curve with the technology that we had to use to kind of survive.
Yes, and with you, working and piggybacking or backtracking here. So with you working remotely, how was that adjustment for you?
It was hard. I definitely produced more work-wise working from home, because I would find myself, if I wasn't consciously aware, I would be sitting at a desk for long periods of time without taking those 2 15-minute breaks that you are from an EEOC standpoint, not taking a break, trying to kick things out, getting started earlier, staying online longer. And if you wasn't careful, you could just find yourself with all kind of, psychosomatic pains. Like I found myself having backaches, headaches from staring at the screen for a prolonged period of time. So, that was a major, I think, setback that I'm still conditioning and training myself to say, no, you need to get up, you need to walk around. Because with that came weight gain. That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Not glad to hear, those conditions that came with it, but I think you look amazing. So
thank you.
But thank you for sharing that. My brain went blank. I'm trying to think of what I was gonna ask.
I'm sorry, I threw you off with the weight. It's me.
No, you're fine. So transitioning from working remotely, with you being in the position that you're in now, was that a big difference?
That's a good question. I think I'm still my authentic self as far as what I do in my role. However, because my role requires me having interactions with individuals who have to self-identify as having a barrier or impairment as it relates to their academic success, I think the in-person makes a bigger difference.
Okay.
I can be my authentic self all day long, but I can see how that was hard or can be hard for a student who never met me, you can only get a certain sense of the empathetic feeling through the internet, through the camera. Yes. But that face-to-face, eye contact, acknowledgement, those are the things that are important. So it did affect it a little bit. And I think coming back is a big improvement for both me and the students that I serve.
Yes. And look, that's amazing. The engagement too is, I know how that can be. And I always ask, what's a piece of advice that you would leave for anyone that may be going through something similar to the pandemic? What's some advice that you would leave?
It's okay not to feel okay. And it's also okay to ask for help. And it's also okay to step outside of your comfort zone just for a little bit, just to get the help that you need. The times that you are more determined not to do it, please push yourself to do it. Reach out for help. Surround yourself with healthy people. And just, it's okay to be not okay.
Okay. And thank you so much for that. Is there any other stories that, may come to mind that you may think of that you want to share with us?
Oh, goodness, during the pandemic. So it was definitely the being at home with the family. That was an adjustment. Work-life balance. Just because we're back in person, try to find that ideal groove for yourself. It's okay to take days off. It's okay for you to say no, right? It's okay for you to change your mind and be okay with that. Be true to how you're feeling on any given day. And I think it'll come across as authentic and people have to respect that.
Yes, certainly. Well, Ms. Perkins Allen, thank you so much for sharing your amazing story. The Living Archive team definitely appreciates you for taking the time out to be interviewed today. Thank you.
You're welcome.